Everett's wearing a stupid shirt. Come watch 9x9 Volleyball live on YouTube. That is our Instagram caption. That is right.
Is that how we started the show?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't
Everett
even know we were
is
live.
wearing a beautiful shirt.
It feels like it's burning my skin right now.
Well, you should be used to it by now.
I'm a vampire in the sunlight right now.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rob St. Clair. That is Everett Delorme. The United States women have defeated Team Canada 3-1 here in Arlington, Texas, right behind us. And as is the tradition of our wager here on this very program, Everett is now he has just upgraded his wardrobe significantly.
What are you talking about? A crisp, clean white tee on before, and now I got this bullcrap heathered whatever with this shit on it. I'm just thankful that you're not going to be here for Canada-USA next week in Ottawa,
you know
too.
how that's going to go.
Just like I don't know if I can. Like I'm behind my team 100% all the time. But it was kind of bullcrap. The girls were giving me a hard time afterwards. They're like, "You're a traitor," and I was like, "Hey, I bet on you. You let me down."
Yeah, they shouldn't be giving you a hard
Yeah.
time. If anything, it's kind of the other way around.
100%.
Just
Shane,
saying.
I expect better out of you. She was like literally like taking videos of me being like traitor. It's already going viral in Canada.
Love it.
I already know it.
Well, Everett, I'm going to tee you up here because this was actually a very entertaining match to watch.
It
Look
was.
up the stats. We'll get into it, but.
Do we want to start? We're going to go in reverse.
Yeah,
order?
we'll do USA
Might
Canada
as well.
first because it's on our minds. It's what the people want to hear us talk about, given what countries we're from. But as much as Canada still has to play for with their Olympic qualification very much on the line, this was a different looking Team USA that we saw tonight.
Oh,
a team
very
that looked
different.
really darn good. And as the ascension of Canada continues, that one hurdle that you still have yet to get over is your big siblings to the south.
Yeah, it did seem. I talked to Bree O'Reilly and Shannon Windsor after the match, and both of them agreed that there was some points left on the board, especially in transition. Our first ball side out offense was actually better than the United States, I thought, tonight. Like numbers wise, like we were siding out heavily. Like in that first set, we had 19 kills to 13.
That was insane. 19 kills in a set that you lose.
But it was just the fact that Canada made 8 errors and the USA made none.
Zero.
Right? So it was a very even if you look into set number 2 where USA made 3 errors and Canada made 12. It wasn't until that third set that Canada finally won where the errors evened out, and it was like somebody said in the Discord tonight that Canada beat Canada. And I'm not going to say that the USA didn't play well, and especially at certain clutch times they put that pressure on, but oftentimes we just saw like a lack of patience in scramble situations, which is not an identifier of Team Canada women's volleyball. I think that we usually scramble really well. We usually play like out of system really, really well. And tonight it just wasn't there for us as much. Like I thought our first contact, serve and pass, was way better than it usually was. But
Shannon Windsor even admitted to me as we were waiting for the interview that they're typically, she knows that they're typically the worst passing team in the VNL, and she's okay with that because normally, you're right, they take care of the ball better in out-of-system situations, and both the out-of-system and then the scramble plays. The scramble plays were what really did it for me. The Canada had dug balls because I thought their backcourt defense was pretty good. They got block touches. They were chasing balls down. The hustle was there. The effort was there. But then they just would kind of lose poise in these random moments where like the ball should absolutely, without question, be at least kept alive, if not like turned into a swing chance. And I think that's one thing that really separates the good teams from the great teams in the world is the ability to turn that stuff into swing chances. But just like keeping balls alive that should have been kept alive wasn't happening for Canada tonight. But like that team is good, dude. That team can be really, really good.
When we're running that tight line and not making as many errors, like when you look at the errors offensively, 14 hitting errors compared to 16 hitting errors compared to 4,
and 14 serving errors,
and 14 serving errors compared to 6. Both teams with 10 blocks, so that was a moot point. But it was a sloppy game tonight from Canada, and we really struggled in that P2 position. It didn't matter if it was Hillary Johnson or Andrei Mitrovic. There was a little bit of hesitation there. And I found that like both Kira and Alexa were hot and cold tonight, especially Kira. I found her transition off the net, like we were talking about it in the game,
man.
that like she was just getting caught in front of the attack line with no approach whatsoever. And she is like a momentum swinger. Like she needs that approach, and when she has that approach and we're in system, like she's automatic almost. Kira Van Rijk with 20 points tonight. Kit Van Rijk with 20 points. Alexa Gray with 23.
Only 8% efficiency though for Kira.
Yeah.
9 unforced errors. That was definitely a problem. Yeah, the
Efficiency was the big thing for Canada.
Correct. Yeah, and that was inflated deflated
100%.
rather by the errors. And yeah, Kira, man. So today was the first time I've really seen international women's volleyball in person, and I mean, I already liked it, but like watching it just now, and we say this about volleyball at all levels, no matter who or where or what, that watching it in person is just a completely different experience. And there are things that we picked up on that you can only see when you're 100%. In person, not from the broadcast, but just like the quality, the high quality of volleyball that this generally was, or at least could have been if Canada had played a little bit cleaner, was pretty awesome. And like you said, when Kira Van Rijk is in system with the ball in front of her and she's getting on top of the ball and she's got her momentum going forward, she is electrifying. She is electrifying to watch. And it was the weird scramble plays when she either didn't work hard enough to get off the net in transition, or just the ball was weird, or like weird stuff was going on, especially out of the back row. I didn't think she was very good.
No, and usually she's real good. Like that C ball is usually a real option, or C ball, D ball, whatever you want to call it. And tonight it wasn't.
No, it was not. But the flashes are there, and kind of the similar deal with Alexa Gray. I thought she held in there pretty decently, being a primary serving target. Her
52 passing attempts.
That's insane.
Out of 93. So she's passing way more than 50%. But like that's like, we know that's like as you said, Shannon Windsor knows that we're an out of system team, right? It's funny because we have people in the chat being like, Canada needs to diversify the offense. Like, did you see what happened when we set our P2? Right? And we're very rarely in system, like even free ball situations. So we can't really run the middles that much. Like when Maglio is being able to be run, even when Ogum's is able to run, like there's quality there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it just is not built to be a very good reception team. And it is funny, the coincidence and the similarity in that weakness between the Canadian men and the Canadian women.
It's an epidemic within Canadian volleyball.
It's hilarious. But
it is.
Anyway, the when you play like that and when that is a weakness of yours, the last team that you want to play against is the United States of America, especially the way that we played tonight just now. Like you said, 0 unforced errors in the first set. I think it was only, 10 unforced errors total in a 4-set match. That's spectacularly clean volleyball, and I was really excited to see. And now that we talked to Karch Kirai just now, and we're going to upload that interview right after this, but he confirmed kind of what I thought based on their lineup choices and how locked in they seemed, that this is not a sort of typical USA VNL where we roll out basically a brand new starting 7 every single game. I think from here on out, it's going to be a little bit more similar to the US men, where they're going to try and really fine tune who not only their Olympians are, but who their Olympic starters might be.
Yeah.
And other than maybe Asia O'Neal, it was very surprising to see her get the start tonight over
she played great though.
She did play great, especially at home with her NBA legend father in attendance, but
I'm sure the fans at home are going to love that. I saw people in the Discord be like, if
my
they
gosh,
show Jermaine O'Neal one more time on the broadcast.
Dude, that stuff is good for volleyball. Sports crossover is good for the game. We'll get to that later. But other than that, the lineup of Jordan Poulter, Jordan Thompson, Jordan Larson, and Catherine Plummer on the left. Dana Retke as I think now clearly the number 1 middle on the depth chart. And Asia O'Neal, which was a kind of a pleasant surprise, and then Justine Wong-Arantes. That is... If that's not the Olympic starting 7, at least it's close.
It's very down. There's
close.
only a couple of spots.
It could be the middle, and it could be Kelsey Robinson if she gets back.
I would rather see Chiako Abogu than Asia O'Neal. Obviously, O'Neal's fantastic, but like
she's real young.
She's real young. She just got out of the NCAA. She played half a season of PVF because she was injured, right? And Chiako Abogu is a Champions League champion and arguably one of the best middles in the world.
And but like the output from this United States team tonight looked. This was the closest I've seen this team look to Tokyo since Tokyo.
Yeah, this United States team tonight looked vastly different than the United States team I saw in August in Quebec City at the NorSeca Championships that lost to the Dominican Republic. Just the
Completely
confidence
different.
and how they were executing, and this team is dialed in to win this summer, and that's my assessment off of one match that I've seen.
Yeah, but dude, that eye test impact that it made on both of us was real strong, and I think there are two players to attribute that to. Number one is Jordan Poulter. Her being back after a year and a half off and missing the entire summer last year after a major knee injury, the way the ball was coming out of her hands tonight.
Zip.
Oh.
But even there's a few plays where like she was just like
lightning
just like
fast,
shooting it across. It's
and
underneath the height of the
antenna. This is stuff that Micah Christensen does to his outside hitters in transition when they know that even if the ball is low, it doesn't matter if they can't just take a swing, they'll throw it through the block and score easily. It's just lightning fast in an opportunistic and well-oiled machine sort of way. The way the ball was coming out of Jordan Poulter's hands tonight was beautiful.
Poetry.
And not at all dissimilar from the way that Brie O'Reilly was setting the ball, because that was a very fun setter matchup, and I was remarking at the way Brie delivers the ball to the right side. And her thumb strength is insane.
Her ability to get like it's clear that she's been working with TJ, because her ability to get underneath the ball, and her movement to the ball is really like she scoops it and throws it
she takes
back.
the ball further in front of her in order to backset it than just about any other setter 100%. That I've seen.
But like that really reminds me of kind of like of some no easy buckets things that I've seen with William Aronha out of Brazil, where it's really like we want to set that right side fast rather than dishing it up like we're all taught. It's tilt that chin back and draw it back that way.
Where's Brie been playing club the last several years?
Brazil under Bernardinho. So
right. And anyway, I thought Jordan Poulter tonight was awesome.
She was great.
She engineered an offense of balance, which is exactly the United States calling card that we've come to expect.
15 for Larson, 15 for Thompson, 16 for Plummer.
Exactly. And then I think
9 and 8 for Retke and O'Neal.
How good is that?
That's like that.
How
is
good is
textbook.
that balance? You literally can't draw it up any better than that in terms of output, in terms of distribution.
40 attempts for Plummer, 40 attempts for Thompson, 30 attempts for Larson.
That's
14
perfect.
for Retke, 12 for O'Neal.
Perfect.
Textbook.
Literally perfect balance. Like you can't engineer a game plan any better than that. If you're coaching setters and you are trying to orchestrate a balanced offense, you literally can't do it any better than that.
Yeah.
And the other player, in addition to Jordan Poulter, that I think has made this team what really looked to me like a medal contender is Catherine Plummer. And I talked to Karch. I asked him how much weight does it carry the quality of a player's club season heading into the national team summer, and he said a lot. He said a lot.
Poor Kara Bajma then.
That's a tough one. But Catherine Plummer, after the club season that she had, and she really kind of turned, I would almost say that she turned her career around a little bit.
I wouldn't say turn around, because like let's be honest, like our expectations with her, like she was still playing for the best club team in the world and one of the best national teams in the world and still getting it done, but we've seen her kind of fade away throughout, like when the Conigliano season, especially the past 2 years, fade away as things get more intense as the playoffs come. But I felt, and we've talked about it a number of times on this show in the 9x9, that I particularly felt that Catherine Plummer took that next step to become elite, and we saw that again here tonight. I don't think there's any doubt right now in my mind that Catherine Plummer is the P1 for this team.
Yeah, without question. Her reception was not stellar. 17% positive is not great. No. Canada is a good serving team. They
way better than last year.
Oh, way better.
Way better than last year, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just Kira Van Rijk, who hit one of the gnarliest serves I have literally ever seen in my life in women's volleyball in that first set that lit up Jordan Larson in the chest. It was absolutely filthy. But the float servers do a really good job. They target seams, they target sidelines, they target the correct receiver. But the fact that this American team has two legitimate out-of-system scoring options in Plummer and Thompson. Thompson's not the scorer of like an Egonu, Hack, Vargas, Boskovic, whatever, but she doesn't have to be because she has a big banger on the left side who can score but also make smart decisions in transition and in and out of system situations. And I thought that the command that this United States team felt like they played with tonight was typified the best by Poulter and Plummer. The command that those two players displayed.
I would add Justine Wong-Orantes to that.
She was
phenomenal, especially in defense. I mean, they weren't really targeting her that much in serve receive. I don't know how many targets she had, but I do think
14 only, by far the least on the team.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna stay away. You're gonna stay away from her for sure. But she was scooping. She was an ice cream woman tonight, and I loved that. Yeah, overall, like this Team USA team looks really good. Really
yeah,
good.
that was what we literally get to be here for one USA game and one Canada game, and that was it.
That was it. It was
And if
great.
there was one
Well,
USA
maybe.
game that I, as a fan and
yeah,
just
yeah,
as a
yeah.
supporter of the program, could have needed to see, it was that one. They looked awesome.
Yeah, they did. They looked.
awesome.
I can't deny it. You know,
Yeah.
like
They
looked great.
Yeah, I talked to Karch, I talked to
Poulter.
Jordan Poulter. We'll get both those interviews up. You talked to Bree and you talked to Shannon Windsor. We'll
Yeah.
get both of those up.
It was a coach and setter night tonight.
It was a
Coach
coach
and
and setter night, and it was cool to see those two setters, to see the way they carried themselves on the floor, just like pick up on things that you can only see when you're here in person. I really had a great time watching this game. I had such a good experience watching this game.
I mean, we were sitting courtside, drinking beers, talking shit. It was good times.
It was a good time.
Before we get off this game, first of all, I got people in the chat being like, "Oh, Everett can't help but being biased." That's the fucking
That's
point.
That's the point.
That's the whole point of
That's
this
the point.
show. If you don't want to see me biased, go watch Volleyball. go do something else, okay? Because like that is the whole point of the show. Plus, you're telling me that I'm being biased when I said that Canada beat Canada? That we played one of our worst games of the VNL? Get over yourself.
Hey,
You're
Everett,
not that important.
You know that we've made it when we have idiots making comments like that. I made
Yeah.
that comment in the Discord earlier today. Yeah, both of these teams are very good. Canada did not get hurt terribly in the world ranking position by this.
No.
I don't think it's updated yet, but I think they're projected to only lose 4 points. So now I think they'll be basically dead tied with the Netherlands.
Yeah, but they're going to lose a lot this week, and we're going to win a lot, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so the rest of the week definitely looks up for Canada. They have Germany, Serbia, and then Korea. The United States has Bulgaria. I don't remember the second team because I'm a bad fan and I'm bad at my job. But then they have Turkey.
Yeah, minus 4.1.
That's not terrible.
That's not terrible. So we're just.
Well, I think it's Poland. I think we have Bulgaria, Poland, and Turkey in 3 straight days.
So we're behind the USA by 0.22 points.
Behind the Netherlands by a fraction.
Yeah. No, we're a lot behind the USA by almost 100 points, but by the Netherlands by just a fraction. So, and they haven't played yet this week, so I'm not too worried. I honestly I like Canada's outlook for the rest of the week.
Me too.
I think there's still, last week we saw them lose that first game to Brazil and then win out the rest, and I think that there's a strong possibility of that again today.
Just a cool example of teams of the product that this VNL is producing in teams that are in completely different places and are forced to have different priorities. Because Canada is not a deep team, we know that, but they're going to ride this group, namely Bree, Kira, and Alexa. Their 3 most important players. They're going to try to ride them to the best of their ability to get to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Then the United States, meanwhile, is already in the Olympics, and now it's about fine-tuning and polishing and narrowing down the group to reach 12. And I do not envy Karch Kirai's job. That is going to be an extremely difficult job.
Those 10 to 12 positions are going to be
so hard. So hard. And I'm fascinated to watch this team the next 7 matches, the rest of this tournament, and then the final, to see like what are those utility roles going to be? What are those very, very specific off the bench utilizations going to look like?
Yeah. But like you've talked about the USA men's team, and Bree O'Reilly just talked about it in my interview with her about how there's very strong role recognition on the Canadian women's team, whereas I think that's a little bit hazier on the American team, but that's due to the amount of skill that you have within that team. Like, you know that there's certain players who are going to be pigeonholed into a job or a role moving forward this summer that they're maybe not happy with, and that they know that they could potentially contribute more. So, but that's also a good position to be in, because when they're subbed in, they're gonna be going all out. But
Exactly.
I have a lot more confidence in this American team moving forward after tonight than I did coming into this.
Me too. I really do too. I was super impressed by the command. I was impressed by the balance. Obviously, we already talked about it. Just the playing great volleyball against another Olympic caliber opponent, because that's right now what Canada is. And we played.
Well, not anymore.
The technical, but
by
I said Olympic caliber, not like Olympic position.
You're right.
I do think that Canada is Olympic caliber,
100%.
and if they can play a little more clean ball, they can catch their P2 on a hotter day, and they can get the middle involved a little bit more by passing a little closer to the attack line. Canada's going to be real good. So like we've said, the rest of the week for them is Germany, then Serbia, then Korea. 3 definitely winnable games. The The
We
United
actually
States
passed
has-
better than you guys.
Yeah. Our reception wasn't terrific.
39-18 compared to 37-14.
Mm-hmm. So pretty close. Then the other game that we saw today, if you're ready to move on to it,
Yeah, I'm stoked to talk about this game.
was Poland and Serbia.
And you know what? Serbia with their Beast team, C team, whatever it is. We heard the Guadetti's looking for like 4 spots on that roster.
We did hear that.
It looked like after the first set, it looked like it was going to be a donging. It looked like it was going to be a donging
Like
of
a
large proportions.
Significant
Poland,
proportions.
coming into this match, Poland had yet to lose a set. They're perfect 4-0, one of only 2 teams in the VNL. I mean, they're one of 2 teams who are still only 5-0, them in Brazil. But this is the first time that both of us got a chance to watch Poland in person. This is the first chance that both of us got to watch Magdalena Stysiak and Joanna Voloj in person. And the fact that this Polish team is this good, 5-0 so far. What are they? 15-1 in sets after 5 matches.
Yep.
Without Stenzel, without Korneluk this week, she only played a little bit last week, and without Rosansky, who's 100% their P1.
Yep.
Like that's a dangerous
It's
Polish
sick.
team.
And remember how young this team. Like I don't mean like young in average age, but young in terms of like being on the scene,
being in the elite,
and being among the elite. And they're the 3rd ranked team on the planet.
and they fully deserve
And
that.
they look like it.
I truly think after seeing them in person today that Poland might be a medal threat in Paris. I think you need to add them alongside the USA, alongside Turkey, alongside
Serbia
China,
with Boskovic,
Serbia, Brazil.
Brazil.
When you add those top 6 teams right now, that is so much.
It was amazing to watch Joanna Voloj set the ball in person. It was amazing to watch her. Talk about command.
Yeah.
So let me know if you like this. A player who I was always blown away by of having command at the setter position was Maroof.
Yeah.
Maroof, when he had the ball in his hands in his prime, he was in control of the other 5 players on his side,
and the other
all
6.
6 players on the other side,
And the 7th with the coach.
and everybody in the building
100%.
knew it.
Yeah.
And I think that when Voloj has the ball in her hands, it's a very similar situation.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. She's in a perfect spot. She takes that little glance over her right shoulder, which I asked her about in the interview about what she's processing, and then she has this technicality, but also this artistic ability that we like to talk about with setters. That
She's a nice meld of the two.
it's beautiful to watch, and then the way that she depends on and trusts Magdalena Stysiak to be a like not just a big brute, but a technician. You were impressed by the technicality of her attacking
so
ability.
much so. I mean, she's someone who's she's big.
She's 6'7".
Like,
I interviewed her. She dwarfed me.
She dwarfed you, and she was spreading her feet to make herself I almost wanted to pan down to her feet because she was pulling one of these where she was spreading wide so that she was almost at the same level of you.
That's not what I needed to hear.
Yeah, you guys look close in height in real life, but in the video, but in real life not at all.
Oh yeah, she's huge.
But I've always seen her, just because she's big, that she was kind of slow and was with a big arm. She doesn't swing all that hard comparing to she doesn't even
Kira, for example,
not even close.
15 kilometers an hour difference,
if not less. But her ability to go thumb down the line, to go thumb up and consistently go cross court
right on the side.
There was that one swing that she had in the first set off the left side where she pinned it on the sideline, a couple feet within the attack line. That both of you are that was filthy.
Yeah, insanely sharp 4-4.
But overall, I was really surprised and impressed by the entirety of this Polish team. I loved the one ball that they run with Jurczyk in the middle.
Jurczyk is up so fast.
She's up so fast. She's there waiting. She's a little bit undersized, especially when you look at this entirety of the Polish team. But you know what? Without Lethal Barbie out there, their number 1 middle, there's going to be some other opportunities. We saw Lukasic, who dominated. She started the match, then they went away from her, and then they brought her back in later.
She was better last week.
She was then tonight, and then
this Menjik girl,
that
41.
She was the other one that I was going to talk about.
I didn't know anything about her coming in.
And she put up some good points. Her efficiency wasn't great at 26%, but if you want to talk about stats, so we look at Magdalena Stysiak, 21 for 41, 51% kills, 48% efficiency, which is absolutely filthy. When you're getting 41 attempts too, that that's big.
Yeah, it was sick. Poland's very good, and like we've said, Poland is still undermanned. They're going to get a middle, a libero, and a left side back, and they're going to be very, very scary. And it was cool. You talked to Lavarini. I talked to those two players, Stysiak and Volosh, just about what their goals are for this summer and the position that they now find themselves being qualified and being among the elite teams to use this VNL to kind of figure it out. But they are in as good of a position as any team in the world in women's volleyball.
100%.
And how they're playing and what is ahead of them.
But you look at the entirety of their roster too. Like I really liked. I mean, you guys in the Discord were calling her Wi-Fi password because I'm not going to attempt.
Shigwolfska.
There we go.
Their backup libero who started tonight.
Well, I thought she was fantastic.
She was good.
Right?
Yeah.
Like we saw different players coming in off the bench on the left side without Rosansky in there. So more and more, the more I watch this Polish team, the more I believe. Right? And Lavarini seems to have a good handle on it.
Yeah.
Like this is a well-coached, well-oiled machine. Now, I mean, they were playing a lesser Serbian opponent, and Serbia did manage to take a set off of them.
They did, and I commend Serbia for that, because after that first set, we were like, oh no.
This might be a quick one.
This is going to be an hour in a shower, and it was going to be a little bit tough to watch. But, Serbia responded pretty well. I thought Katarina Lazovic was good. This is kind of the player that I thought that she might be when she kind of broke in for Malonza 3 years ago. Probably 2 years ago. She had 14 points on 44% efficiency. Like, you can't ask much more than that. The opposite position was not good. Ana Bielica was very low efficiency. Vanya Bukilic, number 27, came off the bench and got double digits on 29%, which is not terrible. But they don't have Tijana Bošković. They don't have either of their two primary setters. It's just a completely different team. Their goals this VNL are completely different, and it's for Guadetti to, like we learned today, is to kind of get those it's probably those last 4 Olympic spots. We don't know the position breakdown, but we think that he knows his starting lineup and even a couple of his bench players.
100% he does.
Yeah.
100%. Well, like he said, he mentioned it today that he's looking for 4 spots.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what we heard him talking to other people about. So and I mean, like, this Serbian team has been, like, the core of them have been together for so long.
They'll be fine.
I'm not worried about Serbia.
They'll be fine.
Like,
the problem is that they're gonna be one of the weird seeding wild cards when it comes to the Olympics, because they're gonna keep just surrendering so many world ranking points, being this bad with this group, or like this bad relative to how they usually are, that they're gonna get seeded way underneath where they belong come the Olympics,
which is going to ruin a lot of people's days in front of them.
Yeah, people who get drawn into Serbia's pool are going to be pissed.
Yeah,
because they might even be on the 3 seed line. If they maybe, I don't think they can be on the 4 seed line, but they're dropping down there, and somebody is going to get a very unlucky draw when they get Tijana Bošković in their pool as their 3 seed.
Yeah, Serbia's now dropped to 7th
that's
in the world.
What are they at? 322. Japan's 312, and then there's a drop off to the Netherlands and Canada. So I mean, that's not a great place to be. They are on the 3 seed line right now, and could maybe drop, maybe even onto the 4 seed line in the next 7 matches.
That's scary.
That's terrifying.
That's absolutely, especially if they don't land in Pool A with France. Right, because that would be the great equalizer.
It would be a good.
If they landed in Pool A with France, but that is definitely something to watch for that Serbian team, because they're going to continue dropping.
Oh yeah,
right. They are going to continue dropping for sure.
And that's clearly they're okay with that by how they're engineering this tournament. But the takeaway was that Poland is really good, and that no game in the VNL is truly easy to win, because they had an opponent who played decent for a set and stole one from him, and then Poland retook control kind of the way that they thought that they should have, according to the interviews that we did, and that was it. So
how was your Guadetti camp today?
Oh, it was great. I was just was drawn to watching Giovanni Guadetti just wander around the sideline.
So before, like an hour or so before the game, we get to the venue and there's no one here. So we're walking around in the depths of the arena to get to the meeting room, and I hear some whistling. I look up and it's Guadetti, and I'm
just walking around.
Hello, how are you? And then I go out later to go to the bathroom, and he's just walking around. And I come back, and he's still walking. And I think at one point it was awkward because he was walking like in the way to the bathroom. I'd come out, and I was like kind of just behind him, and I could kind of tell that he knew I was behind him, and it was just like awkward thing. So I kind of like shuffled into the bathroom as soon as I found it. But yeah, I would love to sit down and talk to that.
That
man.
would be very funny.
I would love to have a bottle
He
of wine or two
is
with that.
so Italian.
He is the most Italian.
He's so Italian.
And the thing is, too, is like when you look around how many Italians there are here on coaching staffs, like you've got Lavarini, you've got
Guadetti, Santarelli, and then
but even just
half the Team Canada coaching staff.
Oh yeah, with Gabo and Vincenzo.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Santarelli tomorrow. I'm very excited about that.
Oh yeah, true. Santarelli's here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Santa.
Yeah, we haven't even really talked about Turkey at all because we haven't seen them. We've just seen them in the hotel.
Yeah.
But we haven't.
Zara Gunish is beautiful.
She is beautiful.
She's first and foremost, she's a fantastic volleyball player and a very smart person, but she's also beautiful. Talented.
No disagreements here.
Italic.
Yeah, so tomorrow we have Bulgaria versus Korea, which, especially because of how early it is in the schedule, we will not be emphasizing that one particularly much. But then Germany versus Turkey, I think, is going to be fun. We'll do a show after that. But Everett, I think it's also worth pointing out the two matches on the other side of the world.
Yeah, I mean, well, we can touch on them. Neither of us got a chance to watch them.
They were way too early.
They were super too early because we're in a central time zone here, and they're going on in Japan. Both
China, Macau.
China, apologize. We were awoken in the middle of the night by a nasty-ass thunderstorm here.
Crazy thunderstorm.
Like, I was a little worried.
Dude,
I know we're in Texas, so like,
was
Twister, baby.
It was a serious thunderstorm overnight. And yeah, we woke up to learn that Thailand had beaten the Dominican Republic 3-1.
Yes, that is
What
the
on
case.
earth?
This is what we are seeing. Thailand to finish off the week by giving Korea their first win in years.
In 3 years.
Turn around and beat the Dominican Republic 3-1 without Pornpoon as well. And I know she wasn't great in week number 1, but she's been such a stellar cornerstone for that roster for so long. Just not see her there and to see them succeed
Yeah,
was
they had a different
impressive.
setter, and not the Nietzsche.
But
number 15, who I've never seen. But the rest of their starting lineup, 5 players in double digits in scoring.
The Thailand was like USA tonight, where they were just spreading it out. Okay, we are live right now, so
Can we have 2 minutes?
yeah,
Great.
okay,
We have 2 minutes.
right, yeah, like it's really hard without seeing this match, but I'm worried about the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, they look tough.
That is, I wasn't impressed with them in week number 1. And this is just another bad result for them. And like, thank God they've already qualified.
Yeah.
But like, did they have Brenda in this one?
No Brenda Castillo, no Brylan Martinez, no Bethania de la Cruz. I haven't seen him enough to draw any conclusions, but this is definitely worrisome. And then the other match was Brazil beating Japan in yet another 5-set banger that it seems like happens every single time those two teams play each other. And I think Brazil is just about as balanced and as scary as the United States. Because now they finally have Gabi and Ana Cristina and Rosa Maria on the right, and Roberta Rotsky at the setter position, and 3 good middles.
I might actually be down to go back and watch that Brazil versus Japan match.
Let's go home and do that.
Some point.
Yeah.
Gabi got 24. She led the match. 29 for Koga. / Nishida. 22 for Mayu Ishikawa.
So Japan didn't
19.
really even start everybody. They rolled with a bit of a different groups and still took 2 sets. So both those teams are good. Japan is still in good position to qualify for the Olympics. And honestly, I think that's probably all the time that we have.
Yeah, we're getting kicked out here. So we love you all. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll be back tomorrow after Germany versus Turkey.
Yeah, that one's at like 2:30. So I think that one will have to be pretty quick because I got to go to the airport right afterwards. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys had some fun in the Discord laughing at Rob and mostly me. And
Go USA.
Go Canada. Love you guys. Peace.